Hey, how's it going? I'm trying something new today with doing a voiceover after the recording so that I could edit a bit more and rely less on kind of live commentary. We'll see how this works, see if it works better than just rambling on and just recording and posting the full thing. So I started today in some sort of issue where I was stuck in sprint mode and I couldn't figure it out for a good few seconds. So there's a bit of time here where I'm just sprinting around everywhere, running into walls and just being a dumb shit basically. And then I figured it out after a few more wall bumps and got that sorted. Decided from there that needed to kind of take inventory of what I had around the house, so spent a bit of time and really having a look to see just what I've got to play with. Still got those axes and things that I'm looking forward to using. Headed upstairs just to see what kind of stuff I was dealing with there. Got things like the keytar that I'm probably never going to use but can't bring myself to throw away, and then checked the cupboards in the bathroom again for medical stuff just to see if there was anything in there, which I should know by now there isn't. I do keep checking the bathroom for some reason, as if there's going to be medical stuff in there, which I know by now there isn't. Decided to go to bed and wait until morning because my character was tired from the last episode, and then I thought if I could get a nice amount of sleep then I'd be able to go out all day basically and look for that car that we keep searching for. It was around this time that I decided I was going to try and cook up some sort of meal using the saucepan and the meat and vegetables that I had frozen, and that kind of didn't work out, and I spent way too long trying to use the saucepan with the meat and the vegetables. So there's obviously other foodstuffs that you're meant to use the saucepan for, and I think I should have used the roasting pan, which I don't have, but I didn't realise that at the time, and I spent a long time trying to figure that out, and I just let that play out at increased speed just so you can see how much time I wasted. After that point I thought I'd better actually put stuff away, even though I did like an inventory check earlier that day. I thought let's wait until later to put stuff away because I'm a moron. But yeah, so I put things where they should be and tried to organise the house a little bit more. And once I'd done that, I thought it was time to head out for the day. Light was slowly coming in. I could start to see outside at least. So I thought, let's go. And headed outside. Didn't have to wait too long before I had my first fight of the day, which was nice. Bit of a warm-up. But, that's okay. There's more than a couple. But one at a time, do you know what I mean? Not an issue. I'm not so bothered these days. I am more confident in Kip's abilities. He's kind of proven himself really with where is that? Oh, it's around the fence. I might be risking it going into like garages and stuff right now. After that little scrap, headed into the other house to check it out, see what we could find, looking for like food and weapons, tools really, things that we can use if we ever need to reinforce where we live right now, or even wherever we decide to move to. Couple zombies in this house, but nothing we couldn't handle at this point, so yeah, it wasn't really an issue. Kip's definitely turning out to be much more of a fighter and a scrapper than Neil was in terms of his strength and his fitness. Doesn't get tired as quickly, which I'm finding really useful. But we'll see how, having no other skills in anything else pans out really. We're going to have to find some books at some point and really read through and try and build up our skills, especially in carpentry. Moved on from that house and started to scope out the other, looking around, seeing if there's anything worth grabbing, and had a little scrap as well, but nothing too much again. No luck with the garage, but not really too bothered because it was just like a cardboard box really, so I don't think there's going to be anything too crazy in there. Managed to get in through the bathroom. I don't know if this is just me adding 2 and 2 together and getting 5, but I seem to always have more luck getting into a house through the bathroom windows. I've never thought to look it up or anything, but if that's just something that's part of the game, that's pretty cool, but it might just be coincidence. Had a good little loot session in here, grabbing things like the roasting pan, which would have been nice earlier for my cooking experiments, but never mind. But yeah, had a little rummage around the house. Didn't learn from previous mistakes and decided to cook the soup right there and then whilst I was looting, because I'm an idiot. Put the frozen and fresh goods in the fridge because I'm not a fucking animal. And then I decided to put all my books on the floor because I didn't have anywhere to put them right now, but I figured I'd find something sooner or later, and for now it was just taking up all my inventory space, so dumped it on the floor and left it there. Made it back in time to see that, would you believe it, I had burned some of the soup because I'm an idiot. So I had to throw that bit away, but then decided to just chug the other one straight from the pot. Headed back home and put what was left of the soup in the fridge to let it go cold, because that's, minging and that's what I like, so shut up. And then again, just kind of did bits of tidying up, putting some stuff away and getting the house in some sort of order. Headed out again because I realised I hadn't even looted the house properly and needed to get on with that. After rummaging around a bit, I found some cool things like a school bag, and I found a satchel as well, which was pretty cool. But a nice find that I did get was a revolver, which I'm quite fond of, so that was a nice little moment. Did a little bit more rummaging around just to make sure I hadn't missed anything before moving on to the next house. Not really having much luck with garage windows at the moment, but just sometimes the way it goes. Managed to get into this one with a little bit of elbow grease, but wasn't really rewarded for my efforts. Had a few unexpected visitors that arrived through the fog, but yeah, my confidence is growing with Kip, so I just kind of dealt with it. Had a few friends come over for a barbecue party, which was nice. But it actually turned out they brought some friends to Gatecrash, which was a bit of a bummer, so yeah, we had to end the party. Waited a while for them to show up, but they didn't, so I had to come round and actually find them. Couple here, get them over the fence. Once I've done that, moved back over to check things out. Decided to check the mailboxes, which is something I really don't do that often, and I'm glad I did because I found this magazine, which is pretty cool. Could see a few guys chilling in the fog, but they weren't aggroed to me, so just kind of left them there for now. I removed the broken glass, and then I decided that there was still some zombies hanging around on the outside that I thought I'd better just draw them in and try and deal with them one at a time, which kind of worked and kind of didn't, but I still managed to deal with it anyway. I'll try and get the outside of this done. Oh, come on, that's bullshit. The miss swing's gonna be a bit upsetting, not gonna lie. Oof. Turn around. I'm gonna go up and over. I already get that panic down, dude. You better than this. Come on. Oh, fuck off. Come on, over. Come on. Zombie's acting up. Alright, man. Yeah, I mean, if I do decide to keep doing voiceovers instead of the running commentary, then I'm probably just going to mute my microphone, because you could just hear me getting frustrated, which happens more often than not, so yeah, I'll mute my microphone in future. Okay, so that's him. Finally got inside the barricaded house, and to be honest, I wasn't really blown away. There was some okay stuff, but you know, it wasn't crazy. Shut the blinds to stop any more guests seeing inside and jumping in. One pretty decent find that we did get here was a large backpack, which is definitely useful. But yeah. Once I was happy that I'd cleared the house out, I headed back to the large backpack to transfer stuff over. Once I finished doing that, I went around the house again, just making sure I didn't miss anything, found some maps and stuff, and then decided it was time to move on. Headed into the garage that I had managed to open, but didn't really find much that I wanted to take. And at this point I figured it was safe enough to smash the window for this one, so I went ahead and did that. There was kind of some good stuff in here, but I did have a lot of weapons already, so most of it I just left, if not all I think actually. Saw some guys that had kind of drifted in by the looks of it, so I cleared them up. And then another one, just kind of on their own. I don't know why, but I panicked a little bit with this one, and I don't know if it's because I was on my way home, so I was like out of fighting mode or whatever, but yeah, I kind of really made a bodge job of this. Turned out she wasn't alone either, but the second time around I kind of dealt with it a little bit better, I think. You can tell I was flustered because I started looting the garage, which I know for a fact I've already looted. And then another zombie turned up, so dispatched them. And their friend, eventually. Headed back inside, and then I decided I was going to make use of the bags that I've collected to really get things organised in a better way. And in my mind, I wanted to have them so that I had access to them, but if I wanted to leave, it would be a lot easier than going around all the cupboards. This did kind of take up most of the morning, or well, it took me through to lunchtime anyway, but I figured it was worth doing to get everything organised. After I was happy that I'd done enough for now at least, I headed to bed. And yes, I know it's lunchtime, but my sleep schedule on this is all kind of messed up, but he was tired, so bedtime. After a bit of a smoke, it seemed like as good a time as any to head back out. Getting a car is still very much on my mind because I'm conscious that, before long the helicopter event's going to happen, and if that happens without a car, for me to just try to drive around and distract the helicopter from my base, it's not going to be good. But having said that, I didn't really feel confident in the amount of zombies that were around there, so I thought I'd head back to the fire station and just check in on that horde as well. Horde was still there, but that was kind of expected. But again, didn't feel really confident in taking those on, so decided to go back to the high street, but not before dealing with these two. Yeah, okay. I figured if I was going to find a car anywhere, it would be in a driveway in this residential area, but it wasn't really panning out that way. All the driveways were clear, which was a shame. Decided to take out my frustration on this dude by opening up the window and smashing his brains in. He had other ideas though and pushed me over, which sucked. After standing over my conquered rival, I realised I was exerted, but thought I'd push on anyway. Again, just like working my way down the houses and dealing with the zombies in the neighbourhood. The more I can clear out, the easier it's going to be for me in the long run. There's one. Wasn't expecting it, but then someone came up the stairs and I had to deal with that, but it was no problem. Found another revolver, which is always nice for repairs, as well as some more ammunition, which is always going to be valuable. Also found a gun case with a Desert Eagle in, which was nice. Stood around for a little bit at this point, trying to think about what to do, because I was really hoping to have found a car by now, but that wasn't happening. So I pushed onwards and thought I'd just keep making my way through the houses, clearing them out. This guy nearly caught me off guard, which was not very cash money of him, but I think he threw me off because then when the rest of the zombies came, I kind of just, couldn't get clean hits on them, and it kind of forced me to push back and retreat, and the scrap took longer than I thought it needed to really. Did get some cool stuff though, like a nightstick and an M9, so that kind of made up for it. And the shotgun definitely made up for it, so yeah. Logged back in where we left off the next day and tried to just carry on. Headed home first, dropped some stuff off like the spare weapons and things that I'd picked up, and just did a bit of organising. After placing down some more bags and organising things a little bit more, I've headed out to pursue the quest for a car. Of course, it wouldn't be right if I didn't get distracted and decide to loot a house instead. Killed my first zombie for the day for this recording session. And then I just went about doing looting of this house and checking out the surrounding area. This guy definitely took me by surprise. I was not expecting him at all. Still no cars in any of the driveways so far. Getting really frustrating now. There was, however, quite a big zombie presence around this area, which I knew I was going to have to deal with at some point, but definitely didn't feel like I was in a position to do it right now. Got into this house where I found some more soup, which is always good, always nice and handy. Decided again I was going to cook it there and then, but that I was going to keep an eye on it this time. Although maybe a peek in the bathroom couldn't hurt. After that, the radio started playing and it kind of freaked me out because I thought maybe the zombies will be able to hear it, and instead of turning it off like a normal person, I just decided to leave. Once I got home, I did some organising again, and I'm starting to realise how boring that is to watch. So it's something I'm going to be mindful of in future, but yeah. After that was done, I headed out to look for some more potential cast spots, but wasn't very hopeful at this stage. This zombie was here and they weren't here before, so I was starting to think that maybe there's been some roaming happening, which turned out to definitely be the case. Considered taking on these guys, but then when I looked at the road, there was quite a lot of zombies around there too, and I just figured the risk was too high that I'd attract too much attention, so basically I bitched out. Would you believe it? I decided the best thing to do was to go back home and stand still and mark things off on my map instead of, doing anything exciting. After a hard day of doing really not that much, I took my character off to bed. He woke up at 20 to 4, which is nice, that's just when you want to be awake and Zomboid. So I just decided I was going to do some reading to pass the time. Treated myself to a nice depressing meal of cold soup. Mixed in with some sliced cheese and veggies, just because why not? And off I headed, again, to try and find a car. As I was coming out the back of this house, I remembered that there was that horde, but I couldn't see them at first. Once I'd actually caught sight of them though, I decided it was just time to get them dealt with. Dealt with the stragglers that were left over from the fight, and there wasn't too many really at that point. However, once I looked up, there was a few more still from the larger horde that I'd spotted earlier. I guess the rest must have moved on or just wandered into some buildings or whatever, but yeah, they definitely reduced in size. Finding the machete was also really cool. I think they're quite rare. At least I've not stumbled across them too often, but it was nice. I don't know why I was so obsessed with getting into this building, considering that room was barricaded. I guess it was kind of worth it for the West Point map though. I was getting a lot more confident in taking on zombies in fights now, especially like more than one, so I was feeling a bit more cocky with these kind of fights. I think it's easy for anyone to really fight zombies one-on-one on this game, even without a weapon, but especially when you got something like a crowbar and they're coming at you in a nice line one at a time, then yeah, it's pretty easy. Had another little nosy and then another little fight with the zombie. My alarm going off on my digital watch kind of put me on edge though, because I figured maybe the hordes might have heard it or something, I don't know. Spent a nice bit of time going through all the cupboards and drawers and stuff, which is definitely what I set out to do, you know. It's not like I was out looking for a car or anything and totally got distracted again. I don't know why, because I'd just dealt with a group the same size, but for some reason the group down there, I decided I wasn't going to fight, or that I couldn't fight them, and that heading back would be the best idea. Was greeted at the door by an unfriendly visitor, which I had to deal with, and then I figured that would do for the day, so I wrapped things up for this recorded session too. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys in a bit.